Last week I kicked the hornet's nest. It wasn't on purpose. So I created this poll, and the idea here was to understand what kind of file communication you're actually working on with SAP Cloud Integration. And one of the thing I expected was that FTP, the two secured version of FTP, were about equal usage. But as you can see here, most like the SFTP, and this is the SSH version of the secure file transfer protocol. It works a little different than the FTPS, which is just a normal SSL or FTP with an SSL layer on top. We did get confirmed that there's not a lot of people that are using the unsecured version, FTP, and that's good. And when I started in IT in around 2000, the people that were using, or company that were using the FTP always got a recommendation, upgrade this. But I've seen this for a long period of time that it is just easier to run an unsecure version of these servers. And I think that is running it as FTP is a little easier to manage. Anyway, that's a good place to start to understand what's going on in here. But the reason I kicked the hornet's nest was, and here it comes, files. Is files relevant in a modern integration architecture? Some people argue that you should be using more modern approaches, like events, APIs, these kind of things that makes the integration work much more smoothly. And if I were to design a new interface and had all understanding of these things, I would agree. File, or you want something that is real time, if that is the scope, to handle these things. But I do think file still has a lot of advantages in even our modern time. So obviously there's something about being able to create all platforms can write a file, and even in FIGAF we also create CSV files for some of the different reports that we want, because it's easier and you can just import it to all different applications. We also have APIs that you can use if you want to fetch this in a different way. They also mentioned here in the comments that you can use Apache Airflow to handle some of these file-to-file scenarios. And obviously, I do not think that file-to-file makes sense in a cloud integration world. But I do think that file has some merits in this new approach, because there's all of these scenarios that everybody can write a file and it works smoothly. Obviously, smaller sizes is important, and then it is about whether or not you have some transformation on it and where this transformation logic makes most sense. So it could either be on cloud integration, or you can probably also use some of the data ETL tools that could also handle these things, or Apache Airflow, as some of the different ways that you can leverage these platforms, making it easier for you to manage your integration. So yes, I think file still has some merit, but obviously do consider, are there other options that you should be using? So what is your thought? Do you still use file, and do you plan to use file also for your coming integrations? Thank you.